Yo, it's Pink Vitamin, and today we are talking about the new survival game, Runescape Dragonwilds. This is my first impressions of the game since there is a lot more land to discover, but it's important for a game to be fun from the start, so that's why I'm here to give a very early opinion of the game so far. There is a good chance any cons I may say be fixed later in the game as I progress, but this is only first impressions. If you want me to make an updated video when I do most of the content in the game and compare it to this video, then let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, subscribe. And before we get into the pros and cons, let me quickly give you a description of the game. It's Valheim with magic. That's it. Move on. Okay, I'm just kidding. Really though, RuneScape Dragonwilds is an open world survival and crafting game set in the RuneScape universe, developed by Jagex using Real Engine 5. Just released in early access on Steam on April 15th of this year. This game is set on Ashenfall, a previously unexplored continent in Gielinor. Players can embark on solo adventures or team up with up to 3 friends to gather resources, craft tools, build shelters, and battle mythical creatures. A central feature is the use of anima, a magical force that enables players to perform tasks like summoning spectral tools and repairing equipment. The ultimate goal is to confront and defeat the Dragon Queen, a formidable adversary threatening the land. First, let's just talk about the graphics. I think it's quite a beautiful game. I sometimes find myself lost standing in my cabin with the ambience torch lights, creating a very comforting feeling, or just outside gathering. I just enjoy being in the world, at least until the dragon attacks me for the 5th time in an hour, but more on that later. Now, the devs have said on their Steam forum that they are working on the bloom of the game, so if the bloom is a little much for you, then keep an eye out for their patches. Alongside the graphics, I'll commend them on the general gameplay of the game. It feels nice. The main things I noticed that I would work on might be melee weapons feeling more impact when you are hitting people with them, or using runes while walking, like while enemies are chasing you and you have to stand there while you're cracking your buff sword, fire sword, and they'll just hit you anyways, like, no, I want to keep walking, you know, stuff like that. But other than that, it's smooth, especially for a first early alpha launch. Next is the magic, but there are cons to this as well, which I'll cover in the con section. But there is good to it, and it's awesome running around this world, being able to just do magic like a hairy wizard. My favorite is the air jumping, but I probably use the torch fire rune way more than I need to as well. Also, I just crafted a staff and just found out about switching to wind and fire, and wow, I wasn't expecting it in the game, so I was pleasantly surprised when I started shooting out ranged magic from my staff. But I do hope for some other spells that are fun. The next pro is the dragon, but don't worry, he'll also be in my cons list too. The big looming threat always lurking, and it being a dragon, acid dragon, is still kinda cool. I guess I just like that it's there and it has quite the range on its attacks. But again, we'll get on the cons later. The last pro for now, just the adventure of the game. And no, I don't mean the story. You'll see why in the con section. Maybe it's because of the graphics and vibe of the game, alongside all these things to explore, and it just keeps you in. It keeps me wanting to have an adventure. Just have a good grand adventure and explore and do magic and stuff. But that doesn't mean the adventure can't be better. Here's my early cons of the game so far. Again, hopefully while I progress, maybe something will get resolved. If not, we'll just wait for the patches. My first con, I have to tell you, that is something I noticed real fast. This is the speed. And I don't mean general game speed or normal character speed, but please give me a rune spell that makes me go fast. I'll gladly give up like 7 of these other rune spells we already have for that one spell, or just like a mount of some sorts. This will be so funny if there is some kind of speed thing in the game after I progress further. The next will be about the building of the game. I mean, it's generally just the same as Valheim, but maybe it's because I suck at roofs, and no construction company should ever consider hiring me to build houses of any kind for them, ever. I just want to place a tile to close in the roof, and it's too precise on what connects with that. Just let me connect my tiles with other tiles if it fits. But again, this is roofing skill issue 101 at its finest, in yours truly. And the next con is, like I told you, is the magic. It's in here as well. And that's just because there are tons of boring magic that helps with harvesting, gathering, cooking, doing dishes, laundry, watching Netflix with your girlfriend. But I want to separate radial wheels of rune spells that actually want to use while exploring this awesome looking world. But I want a separate radial wheel of rune spells that I actually want to use while exploring this awesome looking world. I don't want to look for clay or burp after I eat. I want a spell that puts ice under my feet and makes me go fast for 30 seconds while I'm skating down, a mountain hill or something. Or to make like a big AoE runes, maybe it's more expensive runes, but you can have these cool powerful runes that like rain down lightning in an area, just like AoE kind of thing, or shoot a big fireball, like almost like a spirit bomb. Maybe not that big, but you know what I mean. Just some cool stuff, Now, we got to talk about the dragon again, because there are some cons with it. And honestly, at the early impressions, the dragon is cool, but I wish it can do more things. I wasn't spawning, like not spawning every other minute. So I wish it was much more rarer. But also, I wish it was much more scarier when it did appear. I think the dragon being much more rare, but a lot scarier, would be much better for this game. I think of the sky turning dark, black and red, or would just dark, lightning, whatever you want to, spooky, ooh. And then he shows and he can really make things happen. He has more kind of unique types of attacks too, maybe. I don't know. Another thing I wanted to quickly mention is the inventory management. I don't really know exactly what they should do, but I think at least we need some kind of auto loot for when we put things in the chest. The amount of inventory slots could be more as well, in my opinion. I'm curious to know how you guys feel about boiling water and carrying all this water that adds to the weight and the weight system in general. I know it's nothing new, but does it need to be adjusted, do you think? Let me know. And when I talk about auto looting, I mean like how Rust does it. When you set it up correctly, you can like put all your items in one thing and it will auto sort to different chests. That all your wood will go in one chest, something like that. Maybe something simpler, but something like that. Last thing I want to talk about is the story. They obviously didn't make this for a story, or at least not in the beginning of the game. They find land, dragon in land, they want dragon out of land, they summon you to help beat dragon. It's really just like any anime storyline out there nowadays. There's nothing much else to say about that though. And for the conclusion, that does do it for my first impressions of RuneScape Dragonwilds. If you like this type of content and want more, then subscribe and let me know below. Let's get over 100 subscribers already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I do want to do some more games. I'm thinking of Dark Souls 1. I never played that. I was thinking of maybe doing a video on that. But yeah, I'm down for any opinions. Let's get it.